Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video, I thought I would sit down and do a little makeup tutorial. I've been doing a lot of clothing hauls on my channel recently, and like I did the Instagram controls my day. So I thought I would just sit down and take it back to basics and do like a normal makeup tutorial because I feel like that's what you guys are all here for anyway. So today I thought I would sit down and do a really skin focused tutorial because I have just kind of been obsessed with like acing my skin at the moment. I've been really struggling with breakouts and I don't know, I've been playing around with a lot of products recently to try and work with the breakouts and still get like a really flawless dewy base with this kind of skin. So I thought I would sit down and just play around with some products on camera for you today and show you what I've been loving lately for a really like a dewy complexion. You guys know that dewy is my favorite. Like I'll go matte if I want to. I'll step outside my comfort zone sometimes, but most of the time I just love a really dewy, radiant base. And I really like my skin to look as natural as possible. So I've been playing around with a lot of cream products lately rather than like powder products. I will be using a few powder products in today's tutorial, but most of it will be cream based. So hopefully you guys find this interesting and you learn some skin tips from this video. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. First things first, I need to mention my really sad looking plant in the background here. I bought this little Mascara plant like 2-3 months ago, and I had it out in my lounge room. My lounge room doesn't get a lot of natural light, so I feel like it just looks a little bit sad. I brought it into here because my filming room is where I get like the best lighting in the house, hence why it's my filming room. So I've brought it into here and I'm hoping that it kind of like comes back to life a little bit. If any of you guys have any tips, if any of you guys are plant parents and you have flourishing plant babies, I would love to know your tips and tricks because I love this plant and I really love like how monsteras look. So I don't want to kill it. I really want to keep it alive. So I'd love any feedback, and I really just thought I had to point that out because it does look quite sad in the background. Anyways, moving on to the makeup part of this video. So like I said to you guys, I really want to focus on my skin in this video. So skin prep is like key to acing your base with your makeup. So I'm going to start off with a really, really amazing product. This is the new Clinique ID moisturizer, and this video is actually in collaboration with Clinique, which I'm super excited about because this moisturizer here has been a favorite of mine for years. I grew up with my mum using this moisturizer all the time, like all the dang time. She would go into the Maya makeup counters and she would buy it every few months and replenish her collection of them because she was just so obsessed. And I would go in and sneak into my parents' bathroom and steal it from her all the time because I was like, oh my gosh, Clinique, like I want to use that on my face. Obviously, as like a 13-year-old, my mum wasn't going to go out and buy me a Clinique moisturizer. So yeah, I had to steal it from her or like borrow hers all the time. The newest addition to it, which makes it kind of like the new product, is really, really cool. And I wanted to show you guys this today. Basically, Clinique have come out with this range called Clinique ID, which basically allows you to customize your moisturizer for your own skincare needs. So you've got the option of 3 different moisturizers. You've got this one here, which is the dramatically different moisturizing lotion, and then there's one more targeted for oily skin, and then the third one is the hydrating jelly, which is more of like it's got no oil in it, it's oil free, but it's super hydrating and more of like a jelly consistency. I went with this one obviously because like I said, it has been a favorite of mine for years and years and years. And then the way that you customize them, this is really cool to me. Like I think this is awesome. I'm just going to show you guys on the brochure because it allows you to see like all of your different options. So basically you've got all of these different cartridges which you can add into the moisturizer bottle. So as you can see here, I've got the orange cartridge on mine, which is the fatigue cartridge, but they've also got an irritation cartridge, pores and uneven texture, uneven skin tone, and then lines and wrinkles. So depending on what your skincare concerns are, you can choose the cartridge for your own needs, which I think is really, really cool. So I've chosen the fatigue one just because I really like to have my skin looking bright and alive and really healthy all the time, and the fatigue cartridge does just that. It keeps it looking really like plump and supple and just really alive and healthy that is kind of like my main skincare concern. With my breakouts and stuff, I tend to pick at them a lot, which is so bad, but picking at them makes them look really dark and kind of gross. And I find with the Fatigue cartridge, it actually helps to brighten my skin, and it actually really helps to lighten any of the dark areas from me picking at my skin, which is amazing. So this is my personal favorite combination, but depending on your guys' skincare concerns, you can alter it. So enough of my rambling about how cool this product is. I'm actually going to use this to prep my base. You can kind of see how there's like the mixture of the orange cartridge with the moisturizer in there. So I'm just going to mix it around on my fingers and then apply it. And this just really helps to brighten and hydrate my skin. The smell of this moisturizer literally brings me back to my childhood, because the smell just reminds me of when I used to go in and steal it from my mum's bathroom. Crazy how scents can do that. Like one particular scent can bring back a memory, like a really strong memory. All right, now moving on to kind of like a priming product. I kind of use that moisturizer as my primer, so I don't know what you would call this. I guess it's still a part of like your skin prep, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I can't remember if I've ever used this in a video. I would be shocked if I haven't, because this has been a favorite of mine for a very long time. This is shade 4, which is medium. And basically what I like to do is apply this to my skin before I apply foundation, and it just adds the most beautiful, radiant, pearlescent glow. You can mix it in with your foundation as well, or you can even use it on top of your foundation as a liquid highlighter, but I really like to just apply it all over my face as kind of like a dewy, radiant primer, I guess. It does have a little bit of a tint to it, so it does help add a tiny bit of coverage. And I like to work this in with my hands, kind of like the moisturizer. I just find that your fingers help your skin absorb cream liquid products so much better. You can kind of like really work it into your skin, really warm it up. Obviously, I would recommend using clean hands, not dirty hands, but it just applies so much nicer than it would with a brush. Oh my gosh, look at that. My skin literally looks like it's glass with this stuff on it. I'm obsessed with it. I love this so much. All right, now moving on to foundation, I'm gonna go in with an old favorite of mine. This is NARS Sheer Glow. I'm using the shade Fiji at the moment. This has been a favorite of mine for years and years and years. When I first started getting into makeup, I think this was like one of the first high-end products I ever bought myself, because I used to see so many influencers raving about it online, and it is so worth the money. I saved for so long to get this foundation, and the day that I got it, it was like the happiest day of my life. And still to this day, it is one of my favorite foundations. It is honestly incredible. It's more of a medium coverage. It is buildable, but we're going for more of like a natural skin look today. So what I'm gonna do is just spray my beauty blender with a little bit of Fix Plus, and then just bounce that into the skin. And this honestly has the most beautiful, natural, glowy, medium coverage finish of any foundation. You guys know I love NARS complexion products. The Natural Radiant Longwear foundation is my favorite, like full coverage foundation. This one is like the step down. It's like the medium coverage, not as cakey. It is just amazing. You guys see how healthy my skin looks at the moment. Like even with all of the breakouts that I have, it just looks healthy and bright and like plump. This is why skin prep is so important. Whether you've got clear skin, acne prone skin, whatever it is, the way that you prep your skin before you apply makeup can seriously like make or break how it's gonna look. I'm gonna zoom you guys in so that you can see a close-up of how my skin looks with this foundation over the top. I think it would be very wrong of me to not do like a close-up zoom in when this tutorial is so skin focused. So let me give you a look. So as you can see, my breakouts are still quite dark, but they don't look cakey, they don't look dry anymore. My skin just looks a little bit more bright and alive altogether. So whether you have perfect skin or acne prone skin, these steps make a huge difference. Okay, so usually I would do my concealer now, but before I do that, I'm actually going to do some cream contouring. And the reason I'm doing that first is just in case I bring my contour up a little bit high, I can use the concealer to clean that up. So one of my favorite cream contours, this kind of ties with my Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel, but The reason I'm using this today instead is because the Chanel product is a cream to powder, so it dries a bit more matte and powdery, whereas this one stays really radiant and dewy. This is the Nude Sticks Cream Contour in the shade Bondi Bay. It is amazing. So what I like to do is grab my beauty blender and just dab it on the end of the stick, and then literally pat it into my cheekbones. It looks really harsh at the moment, but wait till you see what it looks like once it blends out. It is the most natural, beautiful cream contour. I also like to bring a little bit of it up onto my temples and kind of connect it up. And then I like to take a little bit of it onto my forehead as well. So anywhere that I would usually contour with a powder product is where I like to take this product as well. And I really take my time to kind of buff and blend it in and bounce it into my skin with the beauty blender. The best thing about using beauty blenders with cream products is that they soak up any excess product. So it keeps your skin looking really natural and just ensures that you don't like cake on a lot of the product. Alrighty, and for concealer, I'm actually gonna go in with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This is the original Born This Way concealer. I think they've brought out like the sculpting concealer, is that what it's called? Anyways, this is the like original one. This is a really natural, lightweight, medium coverage concealer with a somewhat radiant finish. I will set my concealer anyway, otherwise I get quite like bad creasing under my eyes. So I'm gonna set it regardless, but it is a really natural looking concealer, which I think is perfect for this kind of look. I'm just gonna apply a little bit under my eyes. And again, throughout this whole kind of process, I'm going to keep spritzing my beauty blender with Fix Plus. Just keeps it really hydrated and makes sure that the products that you're bouncing into your skin are staying really like plump and hydrated as well. Okay, my camera cut off, but I'm just gonna use a little bit of that concealer in the center of my forehead just to brighten that area a little bit. I also have a few breakouts up there at the moment, so this is just gonna help to conceal them a little bit more. And then what I like to do is just go in with the end of the beauty blender that I use to blend my cream contour in with, and just go over any areas where I feel like there's a harsh kind of line between like my concealer and my contour, just to make sure that it's kind of like blending nice and seamlessly. Before I go in with any powders, I'm going to finish off with my last cream product of the day, and that is the Hourglass Vanish Highlighter Stick. I think I've featured this in a video before, but these are the most beautiful formula. This one here is Champagne Flash, which is my personal favorite. I just feel like it suits my skin tone a lot better, but they do have, I think, 5 shades altogether, maybe 4 or 5 shades altogether, depending on your skin tone. So what I like to do is just pick up a little bit of this on my finger and use the warmth of my finger to bounce it into my skin, just on the highest points of my cheeks. And if you feel like it looks really harsh, you can go in with your beauty blender over the top and just really press it into your skin. I feel like this just adds the most beautiful like glow from within kind of glow. It's not too glittery, it's not too dry and powdery. I honestly wish I didn't have to use any powder products at all, but unfortunately my makeup wouldn't last if I didn't. So now we're going to move on to the powder products, but we are going to keep it super, super light. I'm going to take a little bit of my Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm literally only going to apply this to the areas of my skin that I usually have trouble with. This is kind of where like you'd probably need to change up this step depending on the type of skin you have. If you struggle with oily skin, you'll probably want to set a lot more than what I'm about to do. But my skin is more like dry to combination, so I can kind of get away with only setting the areas that I really need to, and that's generally like my T-zone area. I'm just going to pick up like the tiniest bit of that powder, and I'm just going to pat it into the areas of my face which I find tend to like crease or transfer or get oily during the day. So I take a little bit of that under my eyes as well. And when I say a little bit, I literally mean like the tiniest bit. Alrighty, and now for blush, I'm taking Warm Soul by MAC. This is their mineralized formula, which is really, really beautiful for this kind of look because it's not a matte blush. It's got like a little bit of a rose goldy kind of sheen to it. So it keeps your skin still looking nice and glowy, even though it is a powder product. So I'm just picking up like the tiniest amount on my brush, and what I'm gonna do is pat it into my skin. So because we didn't set our face like we usually do, I'm going to try not to swipe the brushes on my skin and rather just pat the powders in. I also like to take a little bit of that on my nose. Gives you a bit of like a sun-kissed look. Okay, so the next step I would generally do is my brows, but just quickly before I move on to them, I'm going to spritz my face with a little bit of Fix Plus again. I always like to do that after I've applied any powder products because I feel like it really helps the powders to kind of settle into your skin and like absorb into your skin nicely, keeping them looking nice and natural. So that's a little tip. Fix Plus is life, guys. Like absolutely amazing. If you don't own it, you need to. You're really missing out. All right, so for my brows lately, I've been keeping them super, super natural just because I went a lot lighter with my hair. So what I'm doing is just using Benefit Cosmetics Precisely my brow pencil, and I'm just going to run that lightly through my brows. Just kind of filling in any sparse areas. As you guys know, I have my brows microbladed, so I don't need to do too much to them, thankfully. And then I just like to go in with my MAC brow set in the shade Begule and use that to set my brows. This has kind of got a little bit of like a highlight in it, so it really helps to highlight your brow hairs and just make them look a little bit more natural. I have the type of brows that just do not look bushy, like I can't get them to look bushy, but I feel like using this product is kind of the closest I get to that, so I really love it. So I'm gonna keep my eyes super, super simple today. I wanna stick with more of like the glowy look in my skin. So what I'm gonna do is just run a little bit of bronzer through my crease. I'm just gonna take the L'Oreal Back to Bronze bronzer. If you've watched any of my drugstore videos, you'd know that this is my favorite drugstore bronzer. It's the most beautiful natural color. I'm just gonna blend that into the crease using a tapered blending brush. And then for my lid, I'm gonna take the Tarte Chrome Paint Shadow Pot in the shade Top Yacht. I honestly, okay, I don't know what this product is supposed to be, whether it's supposed to be more of like a paint pot or whether it is supposed to be a powdery product, but mine, I can't even really show you guys, is like a super, super grainy kind of pigment. Don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, but regardless, I actually still love how this looks. So I like to pick up a little bit of it on my finger. I don't know if you guys can see like exactly how grainy that is. It's just like a nice little champagne-y gold color. Like it's so beautiful. What I'm gonna do is spritz a little eyeshadow brush with some Fix Plus and then pick up a little bit of that product and just run it over my lid. All right, so I'm gonna go into Dandelion Twinkle by Benefit Cosmetics now. Can you guys see how banged up this packaging is? I'm obsessed with this highlight. It is my favorite, like natural everyday highlight. So it's usually the highlight that I take traveling with me. But what I'm gonna do is grab a little bit of that on a highlighting brush and use it to highlight my brow bone, and then just kind of connect it with my cheekbones. I'm using like the lightest hand because I don't actually want to apply too much of this product. And then just on a smaller eyeshadow brush, I'm just going to take a little bit of that onto my inner corners as well. Alrighty, now that is pretty much the skin done. So I'm going to finish off my eyes with a little bit of mascara. So I got sent this product the other day. I haven't used it yet, so I thought I'd just try it out on camera for you guys. This is the new Marc Jacobs Velvet Lash Primer. I think it's designed to work in conjunction with the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Mascara, which is a favorite mascara of mine. I was going to use it today anyway, so I thought I'd try out the primer with it. I don't really know how I feel about lash primers, if I'm being honest. Do they really make a difference? I guess we'll find out. Okay, I feel like it's made them look a little bit clumpy, but it's definitely added length, which is interesting. All right, and to finish off this entire look, I'm again going to keep the lips super, super natural. So I'm just going to line them with MAC Boldly Bare Lip Liner. And then I'm going to take the Fenty lip gloss in the shade Fussy and use that all over my lips. And then that is the final look. As you can see, my skin looks super radiant, super dewy, super healthy, super bright, super glowy. It is everything that I want in my skin. Obviously, when my skin is a little bit clearer, I don't have all of the breakouts coming through, but I actually don't mind that you can still see them. It just keeps it looking really natural and really real, if you know what I mean. Like, that is what it is. I'll show you guys a close-up now that everything is done so that you can see how all of those products are looking on my skin. So as you can see, it still looks super, super natural. My skin still looks like skin. Nothing looks cakey. So yeah, there we have it. That is the finished look. This has been my go-to skin routine for a while now. I've actually taken a lot of inspiration from Emma Chen. If you guys don't know who she is the most incredible makeup artist, but all of her clients that she does makeup for, they just look so radiant and glowy and natural. I absolutely love the way she does makeup, and so I've been trying to like really play around with techniques and different products at the moment. And yeah, I finally felt like this combination of products are like working for my skin and giving me the result that I'm after. So I wanted to share them with you guys today. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to check out all of the Clinique ID products. I'll leave links down below so that you guys can jump online and read up about them and figure out what would be best for your skin concerns. I really love the fact that you can like customize it for your skin. I think that is absolutely amazing. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new, and you can become a part of the family. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.